am a relatively new member, just 28 months old, but God has been so good to me, and He has given me wonderful mentors in Star Nation and a wonderful team that have helped me and propelled me to the top. So I will be starting in the next 1 minute. I just want to see the numbers rise. I want to see the numbers rise. Yes, yes, yes. As they are getting close to 700, I will start and I will share my story. I will first share my story and then tell us how to get to the top. I am not yet at the top, I'm close to the top, but I want to show you how to get to where I am and by God's grace beyond. So are you ready? Everybody, I hope you are ready. I hope you are ready. I hope you are ready. We will not do last slide, so if you need a pen and paper, please keep it by your side. I will be sharing my slide right now and we will start in the next few seconds. We are starting. So let me put my, yes. So I'm sure you can see my screen. Yes, if you can see my screen, you can just type 2. Just type 2 if you can see my screen. Let me see. Are you typing 2? Am I seeing some 2s here? Okay, so I think you can see my screen. So I will be sharing today on my journey to the top 20. That is what I will be sharing on today. My journey to pay attention. On the screen, that is part of my CV in C21FG. I am a top 10 Star Nation member, a 2-time top 1, once top 3, 2-time top 6, once top 9, top 18. I am a C21FG top 50 member, a silver executive, a millionaire circle member, monthly millionaire, 2 Comma Club member, millionaire mentor, and I have a small dedicated group which I also lead under the Super Success Team. So I will be sharing with us my story or my journey.
We're not seeing your slide, Prof.
You can't see my slide?
Your slide. Yes.
Okay, sorry. Aha. Okay, is my slide showing now? Okay, I think my slide should be showing right now. Sorry, I thought I had pressed share.
Yes, your slide is showing now. And you are top 50 AIM Global Nigeria, not just C2FG, the whole AIM Global Nigeria.
Thank you, sir. I wasn't too sure. Okay, so this is my CV. And I will show you how I got there through the mentorship of our leaders here in C21FG, through the mentorship of Dr. Elijah Mba, Dr. Tony Akabuno, Ambassador Fego Adaja, several Crosslines, and other team members. First of all, for those of you who are relatively new, you might be wondering, who am I? What am I? Where did I come from? What is my background? And you want to look at my milestones, also success stories that I have. I want to know where I am headed to and where I plan to be. Well, I'm just a simple person. I'm a family man, a teacher. Professor endocrine and diabetes unit. I am a physician, a pastor, a preacher, a counselor, but the one I love so much is a network marketing professional, and that's why I've put it in bold. I also do some business, and I'm a financial consultant by virtue of what I have learned. Yeah. What is my background? I'm the first son of 7 children of my father, and I was encouraged to read medicine by my father, because several of my uncles were also doctors. So I'm not the first, I'm not the second, I'm not the third doctor. Neither am I the first or the second or the third professor. There were so many that were just like me. So I had many big shoes in front of me. As I graduated, my father influencing and pushing me till I did medicine because that was not what I wanted to do. My father had plans because he felt that if the firstborn can make it, he can support in training all the others. So, as they say, he told me, go to school, get good grades, and you will get a good job, and you are made for life. In my first year of being a doctor in 1987, I was shocked because I found out that working for a whole 12 months as a doctor doing my internship, at that time things were still good in the country. All that I could buy was a 14-inch color TV and a double cassette player. That was all. So I knew that I was on a very, very long journey, a very, very long journey. That this way I'm not going to go too far. I'm not going to break into the millions. So I continued to struggle after housemanship and youth service. Even finishing my postgraduate fellowship training barely took me out of poverty because when I saw that there was not much coming in and I consulted my dad and others, they said, well, in the olden days, just being a doctor was sufficient. Today, you have to be a consultant. So I enrolled in residency, became a consultant in the year 1996. But did that help? No, it didn't help. Because by 2019, after 3 decades from graduation from university, I realized the futility of the educational system. Despite being promoted professor of medicine, to my shock, I realized that at the pinnacle of my career, I was still earning just 6 figures monthly. I was a level 34 officer because I had reached the peak of medical practice as a consultant physician. I was also a professor of medicine in the university, so I had employment with the government as a lecturer under Ministry of Education, employment as a consultant under Ministry of Health, and as that is customary to people who are in the teaching line in medicine, I had these dual appointments, equivalent of level 17 on both sides. That is why I tell people that as a level 34 officer, I was still earning less than 1 million. This was 3 decades after suffering. So 28 months ago, I got a message from my uncle, who was also a teacher. And as I told you, there are so many professors in my family. He was also an endocrinologist. He was also a professor of medicine. His name is Professor Soji Fasanmade. And he sent me a message thereafter. Professor Charles Bekibele me. I attended the BOM in Ikeja, but I was suspicious. I was thinking that there must have been some conspiracy. These two people don't usually call me in this manner. So I deliberately went late. I got to the BOM almost 2 hours after. And as I got there, I was barred from entering. The person who stopped me from entering was a white bearded man. That man turned out to be the strategic motivator, Dr. Tony Akabuno. He says, "What's your name?" I said, "My name is Professor Fasanmade." He looked at me and said, "Look at your time." I looked at my time and I looked at him disdainfully. I said, "Well, it's about 3:45. He said, "When were you told to come?" I said, 2 p.m. He said, "So you can't go in." As I was bouncing and saying, "Well, I'm going to tell my uncle and my friend that after all, I came there, but they didn't allow me to enter," he summoned me and he said to a tall lady, a pretty lady. Her name was Fego. He says, "Fego, can you go and do a one-on-one on him?" I looked, I said, "Okay, he's a pretty face, let me follow her." And she took me to another place nearby, did a quick one-on-one on me, and after some skepticism, I joined the C21FG. From being a skeptic, from being a poser, I transformed very quickly to become an amateur. Within a short period, I was a Power 500 member. And within a few more months, I was already in the monthly millionaire group. Shortly after, I was also in the 2 Comma clubs. I said, "Wow, this thing really is working. This is working. You mean I can earn as much as $1 million in something that I have learned for less than 6 months? In a profession that I've read less than 4 books?" I was pleasantly surprised. Since then, and after reading that, he who holds a marker makes the money, I became a presenter. As early as my 4th month in, the business. I started presenting. I presented in Lagos. Shortly after I went to Abeokuta, presented. I went to Shagamu, presented. I went to Calcutta, I went to Uyo, presented, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Oshogbo, Ado, every spare time from the office. Most weekends I was on the road. And for that reason, I had team members scattered all over the Southwest and even now into the North Central. I have attended so many events. And by God's grace, I have been recognized in more than 25 of the 28 months that I have been in this business. I like showing this graph so that people can see the power of the connected economy over the power of the industrial economy. I had worked in government practice for 37 years as a doctor. At my peak, I was earning about 1.2 million of money. But in the MLM practice, I have only been practicing for a short period of time right now, and I'm around 2.4 million. Training costs. How much did it cost to get me to the level I am? Less than ₦1 million. What was the startup? I started with just an entry verse. At that time, it was called Access Pack. Although I upgraded, I did so quite late, to my regrets, which I regret up to this time. Because anybody that looks at my DTC now, it looks like an amoeba, with people all over blocking right, left, and center. So that scar has been upon me, but I have overcome it through the blue ocean, because I have now opened up so many other accounts that I use that to compensate from the disadvantage of not upgrading early. And you can see the comparison in the effort and the time put in. I started to make invitation calls early. Professor Becky Bele, but more especially Ambassador Fego taught me, and I started doing that. I started attending all events thanks to the persistence of Professor Charles Becky Bele. I didn't upgrade to maximum in time, as I said. I attended every retreat. There has been every retreat, every program of SST, Star Nation, and C21FG for the past 2 years and 3 months. I've attended all of them. I've started growing a team, and my team has started to get bigger and bigger. I had so many awards. Power 500, monthly millionaire. I became man. I attained silver executive status. Power 500 very early. I was almost always a star connector. I think in these 28 months, I've been a star connector in about 20 or 22 of these 28 months. So I'm always in the field, and I enjoy it. I've moved very, very fast. Even as early as less than a year in the business, I was recognized as top 1 last year, July. I have been monthly millionaire several times last year and this year. I am currently a steady 7-figure earner, and months in which I earn 2.5 million, those months are bad months. I started presenting very early, as I told you. This is me with my signature native and my cap. I first saw the business this time. I attended events after events. I was not afraid to buy tickets. At one event, I bought what I come from these tickets, but one of these tickets to my biggest team, and that is the one at Abeokuta. You can see some of my team members. Unfortunately, the 2 in the middle have quit. The 2 on the extreme side are myself and Professor Charles Bekibele. We are still in the game. I became a Kingsman very, very fast. As I said, I grew continuously. I became a silver executive. I attained most of the top 10 positions. I became a Kingsman. For those of you who are new, a Kingsman is somebody that has 5 active partners. I am a regular presenter in Super Success Team and There is no week that passes that I do not present. I present in the air, I present in the hotels, I present outside the country, I present inside the country. I have team members that I presented to when I was as far away as Pakistan. I have other team members that joined my business when I was as far away as Brazil, because anywhere I go, I present. I am like MTN. Anywhere I go with my HDMI cable, I go with my clicker, I go with my speaker, and I present. So what have I benefited while being in the Diamond Project? You'll be surprised that even professors can still learn. I learned how to make better presentations. If somebody told me that I will enter the Diamond Project, I will enter C21FG and be learning how to make better presentations, I would say is impossible. Those are learned in the ivory tower. But I've learned how to make better presentations. I have learned how to preach better. I have learned how to make extra money. I've learned how to do business better. And I've learned how at any time I can easily sack my boss. What are the other benefits of being in the Diamond Project? Oh, it's so wonderful because I've improved in health. I've improved in all parameters. I used to have recurrent cold, catarrh, peptic ulcer, asthma. Now those are things of the past. If you don't have your Ultra H2 bottle, go and get it. And if you are not doing monthly maintenance and taking your products, you better go and do so. Now, I am very bold. I have the ability to close deals better. My leadership skills have been impacted. Literacy and I gotten several awards, as I told you, and every promo that is on, I make sure that I am a winner of something in those promos. I promote events because I learned that that is one of the highest paying skills. Sometimes I sponsor, I support members, even those that don't have at that time. I've done several office launches, home launches, some successful, some not successful. But in any one, I go from event to event. There are some events in which I've rented a hall and one person turned up. In one event, I've rented halls and nobody turned up. But that doesn't stop him. I outspend everyone. An event. For you to know how to get to the top 50, we'll quickly go through this age of multi-level marketing. The first one is that we need to have action. We need to have action. We need to have belief, consistency, determination, energy. We should be fearless. We should learn to follow up. We should be generous. We should be hospitable, ingenious, just, knowledgeable, loyal, and we should follow mentorship. I may not be able to cover all of these because people have covered many of them even in times past. But even in the story that I shared with you in the first part of this presentation, it has contained a little bit of all of these things. The first one is action. You must attend all meetings, You must draw up several contact lists. I'm sure you had Ambassador Ahiz yesterday. He drew up 13 contact lists about him. You must follow lists, demo checklist, all the different checklists, GPS card, anyone that is available in your team. Ask for them, follow them, use them. You must know and practice the 7 skills of multi-level marketing. I keep on trying to see in which one am I weak. Am I weak in closing? I try to close better. Am I weak in presenting? I watch other presenters. Am I weak in promoting events? I watch others and I see how they promote events. So I practice all the 7 skills of MLM. Belief. Make sure you are reading books on this subject. As a doctor, we read more than 30 books. Some of those books compete in the number of pages with Bibles. They have thousands of pages. Some of them, they have tiny print. Some of them will take you 1 year to even finish reading. But in this business, there are just a few books, just about 9 books. The biggest has 200 pages, including pictures. That is a book I'll finish in 2 days. Meet mentors and top earners. Stop pursuing them though to be asking for selfie. When you walk your way to the top, you will be called to the podium. You will not be begging for selfie. Meet these mentors, meet the top earners, emulate their good habits, attend events, avoid dream killers, and use events to boost your belief. Boost your belief. Belief is like immunity. You need to get booster doses. And you get those booster doses in all the mini events, mega events. Watch who you are associating with. There are some of my team members, I warn them, I say, look, that person or those people you are associating with, you are headed for the bottom. And I watch them because once I've warned you, I leave you alone. Consistency. Be a creature of habit. There is none of my downlines who can log into any meeting. I will not see my name there. I also spy to check the names of my leaders and I see them there. So I wonder when some people are missing in action and I wonder who be their papa, who they resemble. Have a routine. Never quit, never relax. Attend all events. Be predictable. Walk always towards your goals. That is if you have any goals. At the beginning of the month, at the middle of the month, every week, what is your income goal? What is your growth goal? Some people don't even have any goal. They don't even take a screenshot of their DTC. If you don't know where you are coming from, where will you find yourself? Anywhere is where you find yourself. I encourage all my downlines to have their own WhatsApp platforms so that they can build their teams. But the problem with is if you are building a team and you are not consistent, your belief is poor, and you don't have consistency, you are just replicating a team of yourself, which is a bad team. Be determined. We all must have a strong why, because that is what will give you the determination to succeed. It will give you the courage, the strength to overcome rejections. I have faced rejections everywhere. In my ministry, I'm the deputy general overseer. The GO said, that business you are doing, I disagree with it too. I said, let me explain. He said, don't explain. I said, Father, I thank you. He has said I should not explain. So I kept quiet and I've continued to run my business. So you must be able to overcome every rejection. My wife criticize me. Family members, they say, are you sure this thing works? But just overcome all of those things and focus on the goal. You must exude energy. You must exude confidence. When I see the leader of Super Success Team prancing up and down like a lion, I say, yes, that is confidence. I would like to be like that. You can only exhibit this type of energy if you yourself are energized, if you have zeal, if you have speed. And you can get this by attending more and more events. Events are like chargers. As you go in, they charge you. As you go in, they charge you. You must be fearless. Because fear is just false events appearing real. I have driven several times to so many cities and towns. There are some times I leave Oshogbo 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 4-5 hour journey. I drive alone down to Lagos. There are days I run presentation in Ekiti on Saturday. I finish IPO, QSG, everything, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I drive back to Lagos to be able to take my service on Sunday morning. I have traveled in different places. Speedboats, ferries, by night, by day. One day when I was in a ferry on my way to Uyo from Calabar, was it Calabar to Uyo? I was watching myself. I say, wow, this contraption that I've said I will never enter. I went through the speedboat, through the creeks, because I wanted to meet up with an event. You must be fearless. Don't be afraid to run events with team members. Also, don't be afraid to run events with strangers. Although sometimes when you have people that you don't know very well, running events with them can be hazardous. I once was invited to run an event, as and I got to that place far away, Abule Egba. I say, where is your television? They say there is no projector. Where is your TV? They say there is no TV. Where are your forms for payment? They say there are none. I say, wonderful. I had to go into my car to get most of these items. So that's the problem with running with people that are strange. Don't be afraid to fail, because it's just another way to do things better. Many people do not understand the power of our follow-up. If you missed the training that we had, I think it was yesterday, with Ambassador Egwe, go and look at that training. I think it's on YouTube. Go and look at follow-up. For the fortune is in the follow-up. Remember the training and go and look at it. You must be generous in this business. Give us, never lack. If you are hoarding, you are withholding, it tends to poverty. I have seen team members that needed just 20,000 naira, 30,000 naira to move from 980 into millionaire, monthly millionaire. But because they are stingy, they refuse to do it. I have seen people that end the month with 35 codes, and I say, which type of people are these? Can't you just even buy one code and cross over? I've learned to give service, to give time, to give money. Because I've seen those ahead of me, and I've seen that those who spend the highest also earn the highest. And that has propelled me. Look at yourself. Where are you now? Where do you want to be in the future? Can you transform yourself? Maybe right now you are in top 500 or top 1000. Can't you see yourself in top 50? Can't you see yourself in top 20? You need to. Stop looking down at yourself. Stop saying, well, it's for them. Them, Ambassador, they joined early. There is nothing inside for us. Those are evil thoughts. You must be ready to reinvent yourself so that you can join me and join others at the top. But remember, I told you that I'm not yet at the top. I'm just nearing the place. I'm just testing the microphone. I have my sights on higher heights. So don't target where I am. Target beyond me. Target higher than me. And as you put your mind to it, as you speak to the universe, as you speak to creation, as you declare, as you decree, as you prophesy, it will become internalized in your being, and everything will start to work together for you. But the problem or the question is, are you ready to pay the price? Can you live reading newspaper every day? I told somebody, I said I stopped reading newspapers 2 months into my joining Star Nation. I stopped reading newspapers. I stopped watching TV. I was addicted to those two. I stopped them. I used to watch every film that can go on. All the Marvel, all the X-Men, all the Spider-Man, all those things. I watched all of them. I was a freak of news. I moved from Al Jazeera to CNN. Now that I've stopped watching them, I was wondering, I now wonder, what was I gaining from all those things that I was watching? My home used to be full of newspapers that when my mom comes, she packs it into her boot and it will be full. You say, don't worry, my son, I will dispose of these newspapers very well for you. They were plenty. That is part of the price. Because people wonder, they say, how is it that you are able to do all these two things? And there is a price. You must sacrifice something. You must be willing to give something. There are other bigger prices, but you just need to pay the price. There are some great sacrifices that I've made that I will not want to reveal even now. But my leaders know what I have lost. They know what pain I have borne and what pain I'm willing to bear. Will you pay the same price? Concluding, if you want to get to the top 50, first of all, you must be willing. Right now, I am willing to be in the top 20. I've put top 50 behind me. I want to enter that top 20. It looks difficult, but it is possible. Each of the times I became top 1, it was difficult, but it was possible. And I'm so happy that there are so many people that are result-driven. People like Ambassador John Ugu, who are so much inspires me. I say, now wow, how does this man do it? I have tried month after month. I could only do it 2 out of the 28 months. I'm willing to do it more and to keep trying. Determine not to miss any trainings and any events. Trust your mentors. I didn't trust mine initially, and it has affected me till date. I could have upgraded at the time I should have upgraded. I didn't. So please follow the advice of your mentors. I didn't trust my mentors initially. I wasn't doing monthly maintenance for a few months. But later, I came to see the beauty of doing it. And now I do it every single month. If I had heeded to my mentors, by now I should have been a gold executive or maybe a global ambassador. But it's never too late to start trusting your mentors. Remember, they have your best interest at heart. Stop looking at them with corner eye. Stop looking at them with suspicion. Stop looking at them and saying the man is telling me to upgrade so that he can get a direct connect. I have attained a lot in this business. In the last retreat in Abuja, I was top 4. I was targeting top 1 or top 2, but I got close enough. The year before, I was top 18. So if I can move from 18 to 4, by God's grace, I will move from 4 to 1. I have entered the top 50, where I am hoping that more people will aspire to enter. I have become a millionaire mentor. And I'm not very sure, but I am probably the highest earning part-time member. As one of my mentors said, he said, break the rules, don't break the law. If you are not ready to go full-time, you can run part-time like a full-timer. Results of such. So don't let any stereotypes keep you down. Don't let people tell you that you need to be there for 8 years ambassador. Don't let people tell you that you need 4 or 5 years before you enter top 20. In multi-level marketing, the sky is the limit. The only thing that can stop you is you yourself. You can see some of the things I got in 2024. If in 2024 I can move from top 18 to 2025, top 4, then it is possible for each and every one of you. I just hope that those who have been listening have gotten one or two things. Because you can't get everything in one training. I always make sure that I get one thing from each two things from in one or two things from each training. Cumulatively, this has propelled me. I want to thank the Almighty, the one from whom all blessings flow. I